Sparks of consciousness, process of involution as opposed to evolution. Let's talk a little bit further on this. There are sparks of consciousnesses that did not come from the process of involution down. In the last video, we spoke about the process of involution, where you're leaving source and you're separating more and more portions of your consciousness, of your energy, to have different experiences. So you're existing in different levels. From the top down, you're coming down. So that's where that word involution comes down, right? So let's go back into it here. These other sparks of consciousness start in the first density, and as they become aware and expand with knowledge, they work their way up through densities. This process is called evolution. So last video, or maybe not the last video, but a couple of videos ago, I spoke of involution. Now we're all familiar with evolution, where the spark comes all the way down from the first density and works its way back up. Whereas you're going from high densities coming all the way down, 12, 11, 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, so, all the way down. And always the end goal is to return to source. The whole process is done so we can expand our minds and have the experience of that disconnect and then expansion back up. Okay, all right, let's, where do we leave off? These are other sparks we're going to start in the first. Okay, typically in the first density, crystals hold these young souls. Crystals and other similar objects serve as vessels for them. All sparks of consciousness are a part of source and need a vessel to hold their energy. The amount of light or knowledge it holds determines the mindset it has. The light represents knowledge. Once the consciousness that is in the first density reaches a point where the crystal can't hold its energy, the consciousness moves up to the second density, and so on. This evolution process happens to newer souls. It is said that the Rh negative blood type in humans can hold the energy from a soul that is older and has gone through involution to the third density. The Rh negative positive blood type is said to hold a soul that is going through the typical evolution process that is from the bottom up. That is a lot of information there. Let's go with one more paragraph and then we'll stop it there. The higher density beings went through the involution process slowly. I do not know at what time exactly the demons were created as compared to the archangels starting their process of involution and reaching the lower physical densities. However, I do not know that the Asuras skipped down a few densities and got a head start on the lower densities. So again, I want to mention, things can be taken out of context when it's not, all the information isn't put in here, and there's no such thing as demons, and we already spoke on that. But I'm using the word because it registers a higher entity that is disconnected from the light or from source in such a fashion that it's created a duality, and they're playing a role. So there's no such thing as in religion or in the indoctrinations of the demon that, it's everything comes from source. Everything is from the light. It's just they've lost their way. Okay, I just want to mention that because things can be taken out of context. Again, if just a portion of this chapter is read, which I just did. So I just needed to mention that. And so we see here the involution and then obviously evolution. Evolution, as we just read, is from densities 1 up, and it's all state of mind and the energy, the soul, the spark of energy, the soul spark. So if this energy that's inside a crystal here, let's show one. There's a matavite, right? So this energy, once it reaches a point where it starts to evolve, and its state of mind is one of, well, I'm more than just this crystal. There's more out there. There's I know that there's I have a feeling of I'm a thing. I'm something more than just a rock. Now that state of mind has expanded, the frequency raised, and this vessel no longer can hold that spark of energy, of consciousness. So now it needs to evolve to something that would be in the second density. I probably should be doing this on a board. Maybe I'll start doing that to better explain it. But so we speak of densities, but it's all, and there's oscillations, but it's all part of one big oscillation. So you would just move up to, let's just say, an animal. Then you're incarnating as a lower level animal. Then your state of mind changes, and okay, next incarnation, and you reach a point where you have a physical human or a body or incarnation, or it could be whatever on another planet, and you start, because your state of mind. So us awakening, whether you're going through involution or evolution, your state of mind is changing, your frequency is raising, and so your density is going to change. No longer can this vessel hold us in this state. I hope this makes sense, because this is not who we are. This is just a representation of our soul, or spark of soul, or spark of energy that we've manifested to have this experience for this state of mind or this frequency. But we're raising, and now the human body is multidimensional. So we could take this body and go ascend, so fifth density and whatnot. Okay, that's where we say, oh, we're going to ascend into the fifth densities, the state of mind, frequency. Okay, all right, that's it for today. All right, everybody. Oh, you can get this completely free at sourcehypnotherapyhealing.com. It's in my bio. Much love, Starseeds.